Got the Sennheiser HD800X here. There's also the HD800 and the HD800S version of these headphones. They all have a similar shape and lineage. And yeah, we're making the ZMF pads for them now. Let's check out the headphones and some measurements. People often ask me, hey, what's, some of your favorite non-ZMF headphones? And, obviously I listen to a lot of different headphones. I love most headphones I listen to, but one that always comes to mind when people ask me that question is definitely the HD800. It just does some things that a lot of headphones have been trying to replicate for years, that I've used as influence on ZMF headphones. And it will always be kind of a legend, as it was one of the first real high-end audiophile headphones that was kind of more mass market, so to speak. Taking on making ear pads for this was a major project, and it took me maybe more iterations than most of the other pads we did. And part of that is the shape of the headphone. These cups are not perfectly round, so you can't just go make a round pad. Part of it's that you have to go make a mold and pay a bunch of money for an injection mold on these. And then part of it's just that it is such a uniquely and fine-tuned headphone with how these, you can see the drivers are kind of angled away from the ear. It's just got a unique, really cool design, and you can't just slap a pad on here and have it sound right, because there's a lot of kind of factors at play. And it, even just the way the bop mesh or the mesh on there is tuned, you have to get a lot of things right. And the stock pads too are just kind of these thin, there's not a lot of material in here. It just kind of lets your ears kind of sit on top because the driver's recessed away. So you really have to get the thickness right on the pads. And that is one of the things I played with. And I did find that perforated pads do not work on the HD800 in my opinion. I tried them. There's no version of them that sounded right. So we just have the two versions of solid suede or leather for the ZMF pads that work the best. So let's go ahead and pop the ZMF pads on here, take some measurements, and see what happens. And the best way to get these off is to kind of pull them off. Let's go ahead and get a, I'm gonna get the hats unit out here. Got Mr. Brule and Care 5128, most accurate measurement rig that I know of, and let's get a measurement of the stock pads real quick. Pretty good measurement there, maybe a little more downslope in these than I think there might be in how you audibly hear them on a 7-11 coupled measurement rig. These pads just kind of pull out. It is notorious. I've always had trouble getting these to kind of click in. I've found the easiest thing to do is to pull out this right here, and it's gonna help to pull that out, put the pads in, and then go ahead and put this in, and then put this back in after you get the pad in. So let's go put the pad in first. After we pull that out, you're gonna kind of want to go around in a circle and press these in. Maybe get a better angle from here, and I kind of go in a circle, and you can hear them. They kind of click in, and then they kind of want to come out. It can be kind of a back and forth frustrating thing, but if you go around and get them clicked in, you can kind of check at the top seams, if it's totally clicked in on the sides. And on these, I'm gonna, not all the HD800s I've used, it clicks in the same. So if you have a little bit of a section that seems to be popping out or something, don't pay it too much mind. There's not too much of an issue with that. So we'll go ahead and put this back in here. So let's go ahead and get the second measurement of these guys. And there we go. So you can see the ZMF pad, very similar measurement, a little less in the upper mids. And I will say for this measurement, because there's so many measurements of the HD800, I did go ahead and do this measurement with a uncompensated graph because I thought that'd be easier to compare to other measurements that there may be out there. Let's go ahead and take one more of these, just make sure there's no anomalies in there. Pretty similar to the first one, a touch less at 2K, a touch less energy, in the 3 to 4K area. Let's go ahead and put these lambskin versions on and compare to stock how these sound now. Get this lambskin version, and again, kind of work your way around as it snaps in. All right, so I think it's that the ear is sitting a little further away, and you can see the bass energy is a little lower. There's a little more upper mids, you know, still a little less treble in the lower treble, but the upper treble is very similar. And, you know, overall, you know, the response might be a little more energetic with the lambskin pads, which is probably because the lambskin has more deflection than a suede pad, whereas in the suede pads, typically, let's go back to that suede pad measurement. Suede pads typically damp the room more, so to speak. And so you can kind of see that in the measurement that these suede pads are kind of damping those upper mids a little more. Overall, I actually do prefer the lambskin pads with these, but I think closer to stock sound, you're gonna find that these suede pads, the ZMF suede pads, sound closer to stock. So it's all about, do you want a change up to sound the same, or do you want it to sound a little different? And so, you know, that's definitely a decision you're going to want to make when getting the ZMF pads for these. You know, is if you want to go with this lambskin version, you know, you're going to get a little more energy and kind of still that laid back sound, you know, that the mids kind of have on the HD800. Or if you want closer to stock, these suede pads do a good job. I think they're both, you know, really comfortable. The ZMF suede has that kind of silky feel, and then the lambskin, of course, we use that kind of really thick, full grain lambskin leather. So two really good options. Obviously, the suede version is vegan if you want to go that route, and has a more similar feel to the stock pad. But yeah, a couple really good replacement options for the HD800. You know, for me, I think it makes the experience really good with them. HD800 is going to be an amazing headphone either way, and hopefully you try out the ZMF pads and like them. Thanks for checking out this video, and let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'll respond to them below, and watch the other videos on our channel.